Like lightning.
Yes.
I know you need a hand. Here we go.
No, it's super helpful when you just sit there with the camera and film. It's awesome.
This thing. Oh. Cabinet expert.
All right, we got the gate, the flip-up gate for full access to the drawer. You got yourself a 28-inch drawer on Accurai slides. You got your Dometic drawer reefer.
Yeah.
Reefer madness. Pull that back down. You got yourself hatch one. Climb up hatch. Climb up lid. Get your ass up on the platform. You got you a little cargo hatch when you're driving. Put your cooler in there. You got your 6-pack. Oh yeah, you got your cabinet. And hatch number 3. Nice little platform, dude.
Went out, I used the platform, it worked great. Anytime you do any project, you always have a million things you want to do, but we want it to be as user-friendly as possible. We just wanted bigger hatches on the top and cut holes in the front and back to where I can access them from if I'm in the rear or in the front of the vehicle. Over on the passenger side, we had kind of a cubby and we just kind of cut out the wall in that cubby to where I could pass things all the way through if I had something longer than I wanted to get through there. The base of the whole platform was 4 boxes, and we realized we should have just done 3 because I didn't need the double pillar in the middle of the rear box.
I said this to you the other day, and you said you don't need holes everywhere, but
Right.
I added a couple of holes here, so that when it's closed, you can open it up. When the tailgate's closed, you can open that up. Is that cool or not?
I wouldn't need those.
Okay. So no holes at all in that one?
holes at all.
I want to check something against your actual brakes. I think we made a couple of manual cuts on that top last time, and I want to just include it.
So we went back, and yes, Brandon did make some manual cuts, so then he went and fixed that. And now we're cutting. Brandon is still controlling it with his mind. Using the air compressor to spray all the dust off. Let me grab it, but then once you pull all the pieces off, you have to sand down all the edges, make sure everything is clean. That was my job. Then we install it. I have no idea where Brandon is. Can't even see him. He blends into the wood. Then flush mount all the hardware holding the top onto the bottom boxes.
You need your counter, son. There's your man.
Grueling work, I tell you. Okay, so there it is. That's all the pieces put in and installed. Now I gotta take it back to my place and start doing all the finishing touches. Okay, so now I need to put these little tiny magnets here. They're little 1/4" by 3mm magnets into these hatches so they don't rattle around. They're rare earth magnets, really strong. So I'm gonna use a Dremel tool because this is really, really, really tight. This edge is not quite a 1/4". So I'm gonna Dremel into it. I'm using a Dremel. I should use a drill press, but the drill press is 20 minutes that way in the warehouse, and I have someone showing up in a half hour. So it's been about 30 some years since I've worked with epoxy, so I'm making a couple rookie mistakes here. I'm wasting my time taping everything up, afraid to get epoxy on anything, and I could have just sanded it off. So this took a long time, but better safe than sorry. Then my next rookie mistake was I started mixing the epoxy on the surface I'm actually trying to not get epoxy on. But then I caught that. Mix it really good, and then commence to getting it all over everything. So put a little dab in there. Put it on the surface that you're working on because, you know, that won't drip. Ruin your Sharpie by sticking it in the epoxy. And then put on a glove because you realize you're about to get it all over your hands. And now that you can't feel anything, you're about to get it all over your glove, which will soon get it all over everything else you own. Now that I'm putting the magnet in there, here's a fun part of it. The magnets, if they're held too close to the magnet, see how I brought my hand towards it? Yeah, that started pulling the magnet back out of the epoxy, so be careful. I had to get the magnets far, far, far away. But that was a fun science project. So now I have epoxy all over that glove, so now it's about to be all over everything else. But you know, a little elbow grease and a little Goo Gone, you can sort it out. Now I have the hatch laid out. I'm putting the magnets down, still getting epoxy on everything, and then I take a Sharpie and I mark which side of the magnet is going down. Stay organized on this. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Now I just mix the epoxy again, keep going slow. I do it in the cabin. So I did not record this because it almost killed me, but I did it. It finally fits flush. I'm gonna put a compression latch in there. I searched for a while to figure out what Goose Gear uses on theirs. It's called a compression latch. And then those are the magnets. They're in. Everything fits great. Now it's time to try to get the hinges as flush as possible. So I'm routing it. I'm really nervous, but I took the day before and I just practiced routing over and over and over again. And now I'm just using a chisel to get the corners nice and sharp. And there's my board that I practiced on over and over and over again. It's messed up on both sides, but you gotta practice. Total BS Wellness is all about practicing, so I'm just using my straight edge, taking my time. This video right now is sped up about 25 times. I'm going so slow, but once you have it, it gets pretty easy, and I was very happy with the way it came out. I'm going to mount a mirror under this and some utensils, so now I can just lift it up and it stays wherever I put it. Those little pieces of metal on the edge are felt on the other side to latch it down. The last two hinges, I bought 5 of them. I broke one of them, and then I installed the last 2. And as I was installing them, I happened to break both of those too. So I broke 3 out of the 5 hinges. Literally, this is me in real time, stoked to adjust these hinges. And I was filming and I was excited. I was like, yes, I'm done. And it broke. And I was sad because these are expensive. This is all marine grade stuff, toughest there is. It shouldn't have broken that easy. Come to find out, apparently they're not adjustable, but they're also really weak. And just one tweak of your hand can snap it off, no problem. But I'm really happy the way it turned out. This shelf right here is what I'm going to put my generator on so I can have power. It also powers the refrigerator. There's my broken hinges. I can't wait to put my compression latch right in here to where it can be nice and secure. Lock it up. The hatches, they're nice and secure now. I can get them from the front or the rear. Now the other side, I can finally pass long items through, whether it's a fishing pole or a tripod. And here's some pictures of it before the hardware, but we need it to not rattle, so we latch everything down. Thank you, Brandon. There's nothing more perfect than done, and there's nothing better than using things that your friends helped you create. Now I get to go on the road and make all my new courses from this amazing vehicle. Thank you. Stay tuned.